What's
How's it
going
going?
on, Fandom Bites? I always try to remember what that actual riff is on the music, and I always forget. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to a long overdue live stream from the Bear the Beer podcast. If you were tuning into this after the fact, because that's pretty much what this whole little intro is for, since we are live. I'm the Bear. I'm joined, as always, by my majestically bearded, faithful co-host, Bearded Brian Guy, the Beard. Brosis, man, my guy.
Mayo Brosis, my dude, how we doing?
Doing good, doing good. Also joined by the social media sorcerer supreme himself, the one, the only, Jay, the Nerdsquatch. What's going on, fam? How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing very well indeed. For those of y'all that didn't see pictures, Jay actually did his own OC Jedi character the Friday before we went to Comic-Con back
He
in
looked
June.
awesome.
It was
Thank you.
amazing. It made me jealous that I didn't buy my own Jedi robes. This is as close as I get to Jedi robes. My team shirt that Tyler the Great made me. And then I guess my lightsaber. So I mean that's about it. We're talking Obi-Wan during this live stream.
Our Talkin Nerdy Live.
I thought it was a very good show.
I did too.
Absolutely.
I am not caught up on all the lore that is out there. So even when I heard people complaining like, oh, this and this and this, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't. Yeah, it's
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's Ewan McGregor. He said hello there at least twice. I'm happy.
Like, hello there.
We get it one
last line
time. I was so mad.
fan
One
service,
time.
I'm here for it.
But it was worth the wait.
Right.
Yes.
And so, I mean, 6-part series. What's 6 parts? What it felt
6 episodes.
like it felt like more. I feel like it felt because I
we
actually
basically
watched
got
this
a
one
large
as it came
Star
out.
Wars movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it really, really, like, the whole cast was great. I know a lot of people complained about Hayden Christensen coming back, and I'm just like,
I heard
what do you
opposite.
want? James Earl Jones never actually wore the suit, so like, what are we talking about here? Like, you want a Vader, but you don't want the only live action Vader that we've technically had,
Right.
at least not since the originals.
Right.
But yeah,
I thought it was very well done. I
thought
thought they
it was very well
de-aged. I thought they de-aged them very well for the
Mhm.
backward scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I heard Hayden actually getting a lot of love from doing
Yep.
it. He felt like Star Wars fans were finally accepting him because he didn't feel that with the prequels because of all the hate that it got.
There are moments when he's on screen, and it's Vader, not even Anakin, and you're just like, that's Hayden. You
Yeah.
just know. The way that he's walking, the way he's fighting, you just know who's in that scene.
and we were talking about this, of course, off of recording before we even got ready to do this. I'm sorry, I was just checking our Facebook Messenger. By the way, to those of y'all that are watching, if you want to join the live stream, message our Facebook page. We will send you a link to this. You can join it on your phone. You can join it on your computer. As long as you got a mic and can talk to us,
Yep.
we got you. You do not have to have. You do not have to be on video. So just wanted to throw that out there. And speaking of not being on video, that brings me back to the thing I was fixing to say. So we were talking about how the fact that James Earl Jones is credited for being Vader in this show, yet he did not have to record any lines. They have, over at Disney, they have figured out a way to generate Vader talk. So, but he gets a credit anytime they use that technology, which is amazing.
And it sounds so like him. It's him.
Yeah, it's
It's
him.
not too crazy from what the device that I cannot name right now does, because there's a Samuel L. Jackson one, and he just recorded some increments of sounds, and now he says all kinds of words.
Exactly.
Technology.
They do that with they have that for Samuel. They also have that for I think it's just Jenny McCarthy. I can never remember her name, But they have another celebrity that's done that as well for the Alexa, which is really cool.
I think it added to the whole like line from I believe it was New Hope, where we say Vader's more machine than man. Well, now you're really hearing it because literally a machine is synthesizing his voice.
Technically, he is more machine than man, which is interesting. And while we're on that subject, because now that we know that they did that, I wanted to talk about this with you guys because we haven't really talked about this, and this kind of pertains to Obi-Wan, but not really. What do you think about them doing that for other actors, for other franchises moving forward? Like,
I think as long as they got, hey, Katie joined in the.
Hey, Katie. That's our public
Catch
liaison.
Me up. What are we asking?
Of the Yankee division, Katie there. The question is what? So now that we know that like companies like Disney can fabricate an actor's voice and just credit them after the fact without them actually having to record new lines for a project, what is y'all's opinion on them doing that moving forward for other actors, other voice actors, and other franchises? The example I would give, because me and our friend Frank over at So Geek and Cool were having this conversation about Peter Cullen, who famously plays Optimus Prime in the old animated series, some of the newer live action stuff, but not every rendition of Optimus was done by Mr. Cullen. So the question is, like with the whole Stan Lee debate, like there were people that were like, oh, keep CGIing Stan Lee into the Marvel movies. No, but it's well, I say no. I don't know how other people feel about that, but I would rather see Deadpool in a Stan Lee costume personally. But so with that being the trend, the thing that they're trying to do, like with this show, what do y'all think about them doing that for other voice actors who, unfortunately, we may lose one day and their voice is iconic to a certain role?
I believe that should be left up to the voice actors. I believe there's some that would think that that would be a great honor, and then there's some who would feel that that would be kind of a disgrace to their memory. And so it's really a case-by-case basis. So I think if a voice actor approves that, then absolutely add them to the list, have them do some voice work, add some sounds in, then you got them forever. But it should be done at their will.
Right. I can see that.
Well, okay, so I had this thought the other day because you brought up the Stan Lee thing that's going on, and that is of course his likeness and his voice. They're talking about rights to what he looks like, sounds like, and as far as I'm concerned, and I commented this on a few places where I saw that, I would only like to see a kid, like especially Stan, and his likeness on magazines, on websites, advertisements,
art.
But then I thought, because then we went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder, and I was like, man, what would be the one thing that I would really be okay with if they brought Stan back? And there's this great bit in an old Fantastic Four run where Reed goes to the afterlife and meets God, and he looks like Jack Kirby. And I can't help but think that maybe that's what they're saving Stan's likeness for. Is one above all, or God. So if it's something like that and it's done right and it's done in homage and it's not done to just keep using the character, then that's different. Like
unless they approve for them to be used.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure James Earl Jones has told them you can use it as long as you want.
I hope so, at least.
Well, there's that
thing. They're not exploiting him.
I don't know if he actually believes this, but I remember the episode of Big Bang Theory where him and Sheldon are talking, and he's like, "You sound like you like that show Star Wars. I got a secret for you. I do too."
Hey, Danny.
Hey, Danny.
Hello. Oh, this is fun.
So I get why they'd want to do that with iconic voices. However, I think it wouldn't be fair to the actors. I like the Beard's idea just about leaving it up to that. Yeah. And then their estate, even after they pass, can continue to get, because it's like in this case with Obi-Wan, they credited James Earl Jones, even though technically he didn't record any new material for this show. So only if the voice actor is consulted and they get credit and paid for the role, or donate something to the So yeah, that's exactly what I was fixing to say, Alex.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, much like with any time they do, like when Disney when they did the films for the Narnia books, they had to make sure they paid the C.S. Lewis estate. C.S. Lewis has been gone, but his estate still needed to get paid for the films to get made. So it should be like that. I love the idea of having Stan Lee come back and be the one above all. Now, I haven't seen Thor 4 yet, but I do think a fun gag would have been for Thor to have a flashback of him cutting his hair in Ragnarok. And then they
already have the footage.
Yeah, they could have just used old footage. I think that would have been interesting. Oh, like he wakes
because he
up
had
from
like a
horrible
traumatic
nightmare.
memory of yes, I love that.
But
poor Thor, he has enough trauma.
We will eventually
My
talk
gosh.
Thor 4 after I've seen it,
Yes.
of course. We might, that would probably be another good one to do a live stream for that movie specifically, and then maybe do a whole episode on the history of Thor. I got tingles seeing.
my problem with Peter Cushing in Rogue One is that he looks so shiny.
So shiny.
Like, he'd look real if he wasn't so shiny. Why does the light bounce off of him like that? It was weird.
I thought he looked
because VFX is hard, Jay.
I know. Look, and he looked great. Like, for a completely reconstructed person, looked fantastic. I just
it
kept
looked
looking at
better
the
than the Tron movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Jeff Bridges?
Yes.
No, not Jeff Bridges.
It
was it Jeff Bridges? Okay.
Because not only did they have to de-age him, then they had to computer generate his de-aging onto another character.
Yep.
So it was like, and that character had to exist in a completely digital world with a lot of black backdrop. It was really hard to generate.
That's a great comment. I was telling Frank, our friend Frank at So Geeky and Cool, I was telling him at Comic-Con a few weekends ago that my end goal cosplay is Tarkin in slippers. Like, when I get 70-something years old, it's just Tarkin with slippers. That's my end game.
And mine is a completely mechanized suit with for Optimus Prime that transforms. All I got to do is get in it. I can roll it in. On my walker, and then I put the walker aside, and then it transforms by itself or with help, and then I just get in it. I just walk around as Optimus Prime, like freaking 8 feet tall.
Yep.
So who was your guys' favorite character who came back from original Star Wars in this series?
Does that include new versions of old characters?
Yes, as long as they're a character that has existed in any other Star Wars movie aside from this show.
Then mine's Leia. Mine's obviously Leia. She was amazing.
She was adorable.
She reminded me so much of my kids. I wanted to not let them watch the show because I was scared they were going to get ideas. Things to say, things to do. She was so rebellious, but it was amazing.
Yeah.
And her connection with Ben, I thought that was beautiful because it gave a lot more meaning to Leia eventually naming her son Ben.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I had honestly never thought about before this show. Like, before this show, I didn't even think about why Kylo, would have been named Ben. I just,
Bottoms and bunnies.
Bottoms and buddies.
Darth Vader slippers. They have to be Darth Vader slippers.
Specifically Darth Vader slippers.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Who was yours, Jay?
I don't know. I don't want to say Obi-Wan, but Ewan McGregor's fantastic. I mean,
he really did.
He
brought a lot to this character that we didn't even get in the original prequel trilogy. Well, I mean, he was, yeah.
My favorite thing that came back, this is kind of a cop-out because this is a whole race, the clone trooper.
Right.
Like, I know that's technically, I'm breaking the rules because that specific one we could have never seen before. He could have just been a background clone trooper.
Well,
but I just loved that.
That's the second episode, right? The clone is in the second episode when he goes to the... Okay, so quick story about that. The first 2 episodes dropped together.
Hi, Joshua.
Hi, Josh.
What's up, Josh?
And early. So they dropped Thursday instead of that Friday.
Yeah, we watched them the night before.
We
MobiCon.
went over to Mobicon to set up. And we drove back, and we're sitting there, and I am like dead tired. And I hear his voice, and I go, "There's no way. Is that Tim?" And I swear, I think I grabbed Robert. I was like, "That's Tim." Yeah, I was freaking out. It was awesome.
I was like, "What's Boba Fett doing there?"
I can bring you in cold.
Right?
Like a bantha.
Where's my Rancor? Oh yeah, Brian, who was your favorite returning character? Did you say?
Oh, that's why I said it was kind of a cop out. It was.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Well, actually, this guy. But not because of.
I was so happy to see him come back.
It wasn't just about who Bail Organa is as a person, because I also loved him in the Force Unleashed video games, even though that's not canon.
Oh yeah.
I love him as an actor. He really won my heart
yet.
in The Heights.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Well, and see, one of my favorite roles that actor does is in Sons of Anarchy. He plays one of Gemma's boyfriends for like a whole season or two, I think. And it's really an interesting side to see to him.
So, what character that's new did you guys like? I already know mine. It's Reva, the character that got the hate. I loved every second of this character. I saw the pain in her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
There's only two new characters, right?
Well, we had never technically seen the Grand Inquisitor before.
I'm saying outside of
the
Clone Wars, I guess I should say.
Yes, we have.
Not in live action.
Yeah, but I consider that a returning character because he's a canon character, you know?
Right.
This is true.
Oh, God. I mean, I love Reva, and I really think that everything that was said
Oh
about
my gosh,
Reva,
Yes.
All Knights, Beards,
Knights of the Nerds
Squatches,
table.
everyone.
We actually have I'm glad Josh,
how's it going, Kevin?
Whoever typed that up. I'm old enough to remember him in LA.
in LA Law, yep.
I'm actually glad the Knights of the Nerds table brought that up. We have been approached so be on the lookout for So Geek and Cool wants to do a crossover episode with us where we talk about our favorite fandoms and how those fandoms have evolved over the years. The working title right now for the episode is Fandomites Are So Geeking Cool. So be on the lookout for that. We'll keep y'all posted. But yes, Knights, we do need to get together. And happy birthday, EJ, belated, by the way.
Yeah.
Katie liked Little Leia as well.
Yes, Little Leia. So the drone also being named after Carrie Fisher's bird was so sweet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
I don't know if anybody's like officially confirmed it, but sources have said that.
I mean, yeah. If it's not, it's a big coincidence. Like if it wasn't on purpose, it's a huge coincidence, but still cute. Like completely
I
cute.
don't know who this character is.
Quinlan Voss
is not credited as Quinlan.
Quinlan Voss was Quinlan Voss showed up in Phantom Menace in the background for like a frame. And everybody loved him so much that Dave Filoni gave him a storyline in Clone Wars, but he was planned to have another story in a live action movie that got canned. But anyway, he was mentioned. He was one of the quotes on the wall in the safe house.
Oh, okay.
Is he related to Dryden Voss?
No, he's not.
Okay.
No.
Just similar names. Okay.
And he kind of defected from the Jedi Order as well, I think. Alex may have to correct me.
We love you, Knights of the Nerds table.
We will try. I'm sorry. I'm snacking.
It's okay.
Snacky.
Again, if anyone's watching and you want to join the live, just send our Facebook page a message and we can get you a link so we can hear what you thought of this show.
Yes.
It's just kind of a casual, laid-back live. We're just hanging out, talking about this show. I love the younglings, by the way. I hated that what happens to them because
I was just fixing to
You want to
say,
see
like,
it again?
the
But, like-
majority of the time they are under fire and being swung and shot at.
no, but like the way they
I
come
know.
together and they're trying to protect each other, their story is the greatest tragedy.
Very early on, I thought that the first little youngling we see in the first episode was Reva, and she was, but I was hoping that her vendetta was because she waited and saw the message that Ben sent out at the end, telling everybody, "Don't come back, don't go back to the temple." And then she was like, "He kept us from being saved." I thought it was going to be
not only left us to die, but made it so that we couldn't be saved. He told everybody to stay away.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, I saw so much in
Not a bad
her
theory.
that was in was it the second sister? The from the video game Jedi Fallen Order, the
Second
main
sister?
villain.
Oh yeah, the second sister.
I saw the same story. I saw the same pain.
Mhm.
I
It's
think that's
someone
what they were
who-
doing. They wanted to
they
get the
don't-
live action people.
They're not actually evil, but they're being brainwashed
Exactly.
more
It's
harshly than
brainwashing.
Vader's brainwashed.
Of course he is.
Speaking of brainwashing, I don't remember the character's name, but the lady that helped them escape.
Oh, yes.
what
I
was
did
her
not
name?
grab a photo of her, but she was the Imperial trooper.
Yeah,
That wasn't not in trooper, but Imperial
right. Oh well, she was an officer of some kind, but
officer.
She was an
But-
Imperial officer.
very well done by that actress, by the way. Though I cannot remember her character's name or her name right off the top of my head right now. But the point I wanted to make is that's also the first time we got to see since Force Awakens anyway. This is the first time a backpedaled, I guess, explanation of they're just doing their job kind of thing, because we seem to forget that the Empire started with clone troopers as stormtroopers, but that's not where they got all of their people. So that being said, it translates to, we've always wondered, like, well, where do they get their people? And
Right.
then Force Awakens answered that. It was, we have the character Finn. It's Finn, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
love Finn.
I haven't seen that movie in a while. I did like it though. But he shows us that you can break the brainwashing. It's just following orders until you realize I can't follow these orders anymore. And then I think it was The Last Jedi or it was The Rise of Skywalker, one of the two, he runs into the other deserters of the Empire. So we find out, oh, well, this is a thing. This isn't just him. He's not the first one to do this, obviously. But now we have an explanation so close to home with Obi-Wan, because like literally this is 10 years after Order 66 was executed. And so they've had 10 years to get all these people, and they were lied to. It was like, hey, we're trying to bring peace, we're trying to bring unification, come in and help us. So, but you have people like that character and other characters like Finn, who it's like they finally see it for the ruse that it is. We're actually working for this evil dude that just wants to rule the Empire, and we need to get out. And so they do. And it worked so well to their advantage too, because they needed to infiltrate the base, which is awesome.
Yep, and I told Brian this while we're talking about the base. I don't know if I told Bear this, but there are 2 times in canon that base has been broken into. 2 times!
And they both
the
ended the
same
same way.
And it got taken down the same way. Both times.
And I honestly thought, because of what happened in Jedi Fallen Order, that Vader was going to show up there.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be the first time that Vader showed up there.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Well,
I will say, if I have any complaints about this show, it's from that episode. It's from that scene.
The coat.
Yeah,
The coat complaint
The
is
coat is
valid.
so
I will
stupid.
definitely say that was a valid complaint. That was
Like-
ridiculous and cartoonish. But
You're
it's wonderful.
Star Wars. You're not Cartoon Network. You're not.
Like escape through a small hatch in the mainframe of something. I don't know. There's always a back door somewhere.
Here's my thing.
Hey, we got Kaz in here.
What's up? What's up, Kaz? My whole thing is, what if you had just, I don't know, had Leia on your back and then thrown the coat over like a cloak? Like, she's walking next to you. You are a human being with 4 legs and 2 of them are littler than yours. That is not okay. That was like the only complaint I have for this entire show. Like, where was the writing on that? Like, someone dropped the ball and it was too close to put out time, and they were like, well, I guess they're just gonna have to go with it. I don't know why we have McGregor even film this, but okay. So
I love that in like episode 3 or 4, Zach Braff plays like a MAGA alien.
Right.
What?
It's hilarious.
The mole dude. That's Zach Braff.
That's Zach Braff.
That's JD.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And the dude that ratted them out?
Empire sympathist.
Yeah.
I was told that was Seth Rogen.
No, I thought it was though. I thought it was, but no, it was Zach Braff.
We need Seth Rogen in Star Wars.
It's okay.
Why do I want Seth Rogen to play like an assistant to Jabba the Hutt that really doesn't take his job? Like, not Jabba, but one of the Hutts. And, yeah, it's like, oh, what did he say? You came here and you don't speak Huttonese? Yeah. Like, what's up, Alex?
Hello.
What's up?
Welcome to the live stream, sir.
Yeah, I put this on for reminder so I could come actually chill with y'all.
Awesome.
Alex tried to single-handedly win the Star Wars Day trivia at Dog Mud.
I bet he came close.
He did not.
Oh no!
Unfortunately,
you would think. However,
he told me, even for a Star Wars nerd like me, you caught me off guard.
Well, I mean, I just had some stupid answers, and I was off my game that day.
That's okay. So you'll think that you're a super fan of something, and then someone comes at you with some real good trivia, and you realize you know nothing about something you love. And there was, I can't remember his name, there's a guy at Con who kept doing that to me with The Office. He kept stumping me. I thought I knew The Office.
That was Clarence.
Clarence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Beard.
Hey, Beard.
Hey,
Hey,
Beard.
Beard.
Hey, Beard.
How's it going, Rafe?
What's going on, Rafe? Yeah, so Alex, I guess you can answer these questions that we've already posed. Who was your favorite returning character, and who was your favorite new character?
Returning, I definitely liked seeing Bail Organa come back. Of course, I've always loved that actor as a Republic of a representative of the Senate.
Right.
And I was really, really enjoying not only Owen Lars, but Barut.
Okay.
So I always like seeing their recast and actually seeing how they moved forward with the characters and actually dumping some lore and showing how things transpired for A New Hope.
And not only that, but just because all we see when New Hope starts is Luke complaining that he's still on the farm and all that. This show gives us the behind the scenes of Obi-Wan was right to leave you with your aunt and uncle, because they're kind of bad when you think about it.
There's the moment where you think they're getting ready to run, and then she's getting the guns out. She's like, we're standing our ground.
Yeah. I mean, it also explains how Owen actually got injured, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did, because he limps for the rest of the episode after he falls off the. Yeah.
I didn't catch that. Good eye.
Joel Edgerton was really good.
Yeah, he was.
Too.
Very well done. So what was everyone's favorite scene?
the rematch between Vader and Obi-Wan, the second one, because I called
Right.
that. I knew that the first one was not the match everyone was waiting for. Everyone was mad because it wasn't that good of a fight. And I'm like, that's not the fight. The fight's coming.
Right.
And I was right, and it came, and it was honestly, in my opinion, better than the fight on Mustafar.
That was a very good fight. I love the mirrored resemblance of Ahsoka's fight in Rebels with that.
Yeah, that was really well done. Like, I haven't watched Rebels, but I've seen clips of that fight, and I'm just like, okay, no, that's amazing. That's really good.
Yeah.
I personally really dug Vader versus Reva.
Yeah.
Yes.
How he
Because it
barely
shows-
moved and it was just all in his hands. I was like, yeah.
Reva is skilled, and she's nothing compared to Vader.
You waited 10 years just to try to assault the Dark Lord of Star Wars from behind.
I mean,
Like,
he
could you
is
have just done that at any
brutal.
time?
You think I did not see it, youngling?
Right. And when he takes her lightsaber and breaks it to separate it out of the ring, it's just like, here, take one of these, and throws it back to her.
And then to add insult to injury, this guy comes over and stabs her. And then
Right.
after stabbing her, still further manipulates her, telling her revenge does wonders for the will to live.
Oh, my favorite scene had to have been when the Inquisitors first enter the cantina,
Yeah, that was great.
because I honestly thought we were gonna get it right there. Like, I thought Obi-Wan was. They were panning around so fast, but blurring out.
It's just
Like all the different people, and they were only focusing in on like one face at a time. So it was like, it was possible that we were eventually going to land on a hooded figure that was Obi-Wan. And I thought we were going to get it right then, and we didn't. And it was a great suspenseful thing. It was like, "You'll never kill us all," or whatever he says, and then he runs away. Alex, what was your favorite scene?
Favorite scene that I saw out of that, definitely was the Vader fight. I enjoyed it. I thought that he was really not trying to hurt his friend until the very end, where he saw all clothes were off. And it was kind of hard to see, but it was the same thing as you saw whenever we were not only with Luke. I mean, there's been 3 instances that Vader has been denied as an actual person that they cared about: Luke, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan, and they all hurt just the same.
Yep. I did love that that Obi finally got that kind of closure, where it was like, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did.
That made me cry, because it's Vader's sitting there saying that he's killed Anakin, but we know as viewers, Anakin's still in there. So he's sitting there saying Anakin's dead when Anakin is still fighting deep down inside of there.
Yeah.
It's emotional.
We
And
got
that
a-
break between the Vader voice,
oh
the
yeah,
Vader voice
when
and
they're
the
when it's
Anakin voice.
overlaying, it was so good.
And knowing that the recordings were just recordings, it makes it even more robotic versus real voice.
Right.
And I just love it.
We got a Katie comment, and she said, "I have so many that I like, but one of my favorite scenes was when Obi said, 'If anyone asks, we're farmers, and you're my daughter and Leia Mother's grandfather, baby.'"
The true sass of a child.
Right? It's just- and like I said, that's why
That sass.
she was my favorite returning character, because we got Leia as young Leia for the first time, because it was just that good, that well done.
She gives you that sass, and then she gives you that look, and you're like, okay, you're fine. You're innocent.
Yep.
Couldn't be a better cast for a young Leia. To
Oh,
be honest with
definitely
you.
not.
agree.
No.
I don't trust you if you didn't like little Leia. Just
It's like that whole, if they don't even try to sing Bohemian Rhapsody, you don't need that negativity in your life. If you didn't like little Leia, I'm gonna cut you out of my life because I don't have time for that kind of negativity. That's
just way too negative.
She was too perfect. And Luke too. I mean, we didn't get much time with him, but the young Luke.
I didn't like the young Luke, and I don't know. I have no valid reasons for saying why I didn't like him. He did an excellent job. I think it was just I didn't want them to bring in Luke. Like if Luke was just far away, like in the scene where he's overlooking him, that's fine. But putting him in the danger, I didn't love that because of course they had to make him pass out, as Ryan George says, because he can't see a lightsaber because he doesn't see a lightsaber until he first gets a lightsaber.
Yeah, so when he points it in his eye. Yeah, I mean that makes sense, and you know, but we needed him to have a reason to know who Ben was, because that's like the first thing in the first movie. But I think they gave us just enough to where it was like, okay, here's Luke, here's a little bit of Luke, but since the next movie, technically, that, well, at least that's gonna have Luke in it, is New Hope, and that whole movie's about him. Hell, that whole trilogy's about him. So they didn't have to give us much, but they you know, I guess they had to justify the actor. And, you know, and they set up, like Alex said, you know, they set up, you know, Uncle Owen getting injured. They had to have a reason for that. I think it would have been weird if he'd have been walking at the beginning of the show and then limping at the end of the show, and we just didn't know why. What's up, Tammy? Our friend Tammy. For anyone watching this after or watching it right now, if you need a photographer, call Tammy. She is one of the best.
So I have a question, and this has been a big contention with a lot of Star Wars fans. Is,
like 90% of the other things that are contention.
Yeah, because we are a fickle group. I am not in that fickle group, but you know, Yet
you just said we. I'm going to need you to get your story straight, sir.
What did you think of the role of the fifth brother and the actor that played him?
We were actually just talking about that before we went live. The fact that is the actor that plays Han in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yes, it is.
It's really just hilarious to me. I thought that he played his role well. The sister needed someone, you know, there because, well, especially after she stabbed the Grand Inquisitor, she needed someone to kind of be that, hey, you know, it's mine, not yours. I'm going to take it, not you, kind of thing. I thought they played him a little heavy-handed, a little too early on, though. That's my only real gripe about him is if you have this big boss that's right here, why are you trying to be big boss? Like, stay in your lane, bro. Like,
they're all hungry to be in charge, though.
That's true.
It's all meant to be a higher pecking order.
Yeah.
I mean, and we learned that from not only watching Rebels, but we learned it from Fallen Order and a whole bunch of other extracurricular stuff. So.
I still haven't beaten
Fallen Order. They'd get a lot more done. They get a lot more done if they work like a team, but they're competing with each other for Vader's approval, not because they want Vader to love them or like them, because they don't want Vader to kill them. Mm-hmm. They're motivated by survival alone. Yep.
Well, so I can't really talk about that scene, one of my other favorite scenes, because it is a spoiler for one person in the chat right now. So,
what?
You, Bear.
Me?
The scene where they're escaping the Inquisitorium. The underwater tunnel.
Oh, you mean for Fallen Order? Yeah, because I haven't beat it yet. I will.
We already spoiled that.
Don't worry about it.
We told them it's the same hallway scene.
Yeah,
it's the same hallway scene, and I was just like, I think it's great how they mirrored it with Obi-Wan and Vader.
Nobody thought they would try it again. Really, really, people.
I mean, how long? That actually, I guess I need to know this. I mean, I know I've played a little bit of Fallen Order, but it's been so long now. I've played so many other video games. How long after the execution of Order 66 is Fallen Order set?
5 years.
5 years.
So it's 5 years before
So it's
this
5 years
show.
before this.
That's the reason why everybody
Fallen
was.
Order,
Okay.
the next Fallen Order game takes place at the same time of the. Well, maybe not the
This.
same month,
So
but the same
Right.
year as this.
they signed Cameron Monaghan to play I think that's his last name.
Yes.
Signed to play in Jedi Survivor, and they also signed him on for a live action.
And there's
preview.
a lot of speculation.
Oh,
So they are trying. Everybody thought that we were going to get him in Obi-Wan because it's
I thought
around
it
the
was
same
awesome.
time frame.
yeah.
So I would love to see it because I'm
It
a
would have
huge
been
Cal
interesting
Kestis
if
fan.
he would have been the Jedi in the first scene.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
and he's the one that got away and then approaches Obi-Wan and is like, you know, Master Kenobi, this, and this. And he's like, if he was the one that was told, go bury your lightsaber in the sand and walk away and forget. And I think that would have been awesome. But, you know.
I mean, that's
It
a big
was
point of
cool.
contention because Cal Kestis, right at that point in time, we don't know who else he's met.
Right.
The only person that he's met is Sierra, and that was it.
Okay.
And a couple other characters, but we can't say their names.
Yeah. I do need to go and finish that game. I have so many
If you like
story
Rogue
games
One,
that
there's a
I'm playing.
really awesome Rogue One. I wouldn't even say cameo character that appears in the game, and wasn't expecting it, and it was amazing.
Yep.
But the character I want to see in the next Fallen Order game is actually
Yes!
Heja.
Oh my
That's
god!
strange.
I forgot about him for
I
a
loved
second.
him.
He was a good side character. I loved him.
How much better would it have been if he actually was force sensitive?
Just a little bit.
They should have made him force sensitive, but still have the same personality.
No,
Make
they
him
should
kinda
have
like
made him
a-
an
a
actual
youngling that didn't
Jedi
training.
that pretended to be a Jedi in case he ever got found out he was a Jedi. Just like when he
Love it.
goes up against Reva, he's like, "No, this is, you know, she's like magnets, so you mimic our powers." And he could have just been like, "Actually, no," and then at least stood a chance. Like
Right.
that would have been interesting. That would have been really
Surprise,
fun.
surprise! How they
Dude.
turn tables.
On the turntable.
Oh, I love Kumail Nanjiani so much.
Yes, he was so good.
I love
So
the
what is-
fact that Disney was like, "Hey, we didn't give you a shirtless scene in the Eternals. We're gonna make you a Jedi now." And then he went to go be a Jedi, and he didn't even get to be a real Jedi.
So one thing that Katie pointed out to me that is I never thought of before, but is totally valid. Vader is, in all intents and purposes, a drama queen.
Oh, for sure.
He's a drama queen.
Yeah,
This was dramatic.
it was also unnecessary.
Yeah.
Completely unnecessary. It was petty.
I mean,
love-
he's driven strictly by hate and anger.
Right.
So
I remember watching the pitch
And drama.
meeting that Ryan George did for this show. You already mentioned it once before, talking about how Luke couldn't see a lightsaber. I remember him saying during that firefight where he's like, "Okay, so Vader's just gonna light the fire back up, right?" He's like, "No." He's like,
No, this
But he
scene's done
can.
now.
He's like, "This scene's done now. We need him to move. We need Obi-Wan to be alive for the next scene." It's like, wait,
Obi-Wan has to go
what?
away now. This
Yeah.
scene's done.
and the pitch guy's like, "Because money." It's like, "Oh, I love money."
We can't kill Obi-Wan at the first episode. We just have to burn him severely and then have Vader let him walk away.
Oh,
And also
Dude.
the fact that Vader could have put the flames down and just chased after him, but he just stands there after he can't.
Right.
He loses line of sight. It's Assassin's Creed logic. You can be fighting one of the guards, and then as soon as they lose eyesight of you, they forget that you exist.
yeah, I forgot about that.
it's the visible meme that he always runs for high ground.
Yeah,
Okay, let's talk about the high ground though, because Darth Vader finally had the high ground, and I think he should have said something about it.
Look who has the high ground now, Obi-Wan.
I will say, I did see someone point out that in episode 6, when Darth Vader says, I see Obi-Wan train, or in episode 5, whichever one he says, I see Obi-Wan trained you well, Luke is looking down on him, so Luke has the high ground, and it kind of all clicks. Oh, that's what he means.
Yep.
That was an overarching joke between Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen. Was that?
Yep.
You can just tell that they're friends.
Underestimate
in this
power.
scene.
Very well done scene there too.
Yep.
I loved that. Like
I enjoyed the actual training fight.
Yeah.
It was good.
Your aggression is what's going to defeat you, not me, or whatever he says.
Yeah.
He says something along those lines. Oh man, yeah. I agree. I think like when he buried him under the rocks, he should have been like, "I'm going to bury you under my high ground" or something.
Sexy.
Or who has the high ground now? Drop. Just all the stones.
How did y'all like the homage going back to an older Star Wars game of Starkiller pulling a ship out of the sky? Vader doing the same thing.
Dude, I held my breath. I
mean, he ripped that thing open like a tuna can.
I just gotta say, Starkiller's ship that he pulled was way bigger than the one Vader pulled.
It was. It was a Star
Destroyer, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was pretty big.
He pulled it down and made it crash.
Out of orbit.
Yep. Starkiller's way
orbit,
overpowered. There's a reason why they won't make him canon.
Exactly.
He's way too powerful.
He's the Superman of the Star Wars universe.
And when you kill him, guess what? There's a clone of him now because
that's Superman.
He's basically Homelander.
Yeah.
He's basically Homelander. There's a clone of him and everything.
The clone has been
infused
with the Jedi, with the midichlorians or whatever, to make him force sensitive. Love it. Oh man, yeah, no. Starkiller can never be canon, but I really want him to be canon.
I mean, there's talks, but they're
if
not.
He was made
they're probably
canon,
not gonna do
he would be the character that everyone would start making nerfed comments about, where they'd be like, "They nerfed him." Yeah,
because they can't.
Well, yeah, because you were able to unlock all of his special abilities of the game. Of course, they nerfed him. They're gonna have to nerf Cal Kestis. I mean,
Cal Kestis honestly wasn't doing a whole lot of crazy force things.
No, but he has a very rare force talent.
Yes, his force talent is pretty cool. But like when he pushes and pulls things, like they kept him ground level in a beautiful way. And I like the scene where you're going up against Vader. I thought I was actually going to have to fight Vader. But it's like, no, you're not on the level to fight Vader. You're on the level to run from him.
I was panicking. Like when that I didn't even know that was coming up. I was absolutely panicking. Because I was one hit from death because I was playing on Jedi Master.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
I was like, no, I can't do this. If you're putting a second boss up against this.
No thanks. Bye. Yeah, exactly. Just turns around, walks away.
Just wow. I'm out.
Also, one thing about this show, as opposed to the other Star Wars shows we've gotten on Disney Plus, all of the shows I've seen on Disney Plus before, I feel like could all just be a video game as they are, and this show does not fit into that.
I mean, yeah, I can see that. I mean, I like that they kind of use some tropes that they've used in video games before. We see a lot of similarities between Fallen Order and Obi-Wan a lot of times. But, I mean, this did feel like an actual show that we wanted to see. Like, not something that was just regurgitated to us. So,
yeah. And I loved every second of it. I was always wondering on the internet why everyone was hating on it so much. And I think what I've come to the conclusion of, there are some fans, and this is valid if you feel this way, they're just in it for the big fight scenes, for the big flash thing.
It's like watching NASCAR for the crashes.
Yeah.
I mean,
yep.
Perfect analogy. I want to watch the build up. I want to
Right.
watch it start up from the bottom and build its way up.
A lot of people were like really upset with the way they portrayed Obi-Wan, mainly just because of the mental toll that it took on him to be where he was. And
But
Now-
it makes sense.
I will defend not the toxic people, but the people that find the logical, because I found a logical issue with that. How did this man go from not being able to move something on the ship literally like 30 minutes before the fight with Vader and then able to unlock all of his force potential again and explode rocks? Like, there should have been a better build, I guess, for at least that aspect. Now, was it so bad that I'm not going to watch the show? No. And I love how it happened. Don't get me wrong. But if I'm picking at it and going, here's the issue, here's the logical issue, that's one of them. You know, just like with the whole coat over a tall person with two short little legs walking next to him. It's a logical misstep. It's not a problem. It's a misstep. And there might have been something that got cut out that we didn't see. And that probably explains the misstep.
That's not my interpretation of it. When I watched it, what I saw, although he's really built himself back up and he feels like he's ready for this fight, until he hears Vader release him from the trauma he's putting on himself because as far as he's concerned, he killed Anakin. He felt like he killed Anakin. He failed Anakin. And when that is shown to not be the case, when he sees how broken he is by the dark side and he realizes it's not his fault, I believe that's when he lets that go. He finally lets it go.
I think that's why he
when
sees Qui-Gon too.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
He's
Because
finally
it was holding
letting it go. He's being
That's
one with
the
the Force.
moment he became ready to see. It's the same.
I mean,
thing. Yeah.
Posted this comment. The
Force is controlled by emotion. Exactly. So my
Yeah.
guess is during the fight he reconnected to the Force. It's
Because-
not that different from what happened in Fallen Order. They
True.
show that the stuff you go through is tethered to your connection to the Force. Cal Kestis at the beginning of the game, although he's been trained as a Padawan in the Jedi Temple, he feels a disconnection to the Force from his years of being in hiding.
See,
not to mention
okay,
the only thing is like leaving his master behind, and he felt guilt
But
for
see,
doing that as well.
I have to disagree just on one point to that. Like, yes, from a storytelling point of view, that still might be true. But for that example specifically, to me, for Kyle Kestis, that's how you make a video game. That's how you make certain powers unlockable, is you have to tether it to something like that. Now, again, it still might be true from a storytelling point of view in the Star Wars universe, and they just adapted it to a video game. But if I had only played Fallen Order and then I watched this show, and that is how we tried to explain it, if someone tried to explain it to me, I would go, well, yeah, Kyle Kestis had to reconnect through emotion, because that's how I had to get the powers to do the things, to keep doing the next things. So
that's not how I unlocked skills. I just kind of kept killing the same little thing and then respawning. And
Well,
then
no,
I farmed the points.
But the flashbacks that Kyle Kestis has in Fallen Order 2 when he is being trained is what unlocks some of your special abilities, like the double jump and some of the other
Force push and
tactical
all that.
things that he can do. So, but again, like I said, from a storytelling point of view, it might be the same and they just adapted it to a game. Also, while I'm on the video game subject, I do agree this is the first show that wasn't like a video game. I think we said that in Mandalorian 1 and 2. Do not try, one must do. I like it. Yeah, because that was always go do this quest. Okay, I'll help you do this if you help me do this. He gets the piece of armor or the thing that he needs. And that's season 1 and 2 of Mandalorian and Boba Fett. Like, all three of those are definitely, I could make a video game out of those if I knew how to make video games.
Yeah.
Put the main character on a fetch quest and go.
Right. The main difference here is the fetch quest was always, where's Leia?
Yep.
And that's a boring video
And
game. It's like,
I
right.
will say the complaints about how this mirrors Mandalorian, those are valid, but to defense of that, what else are you going to do with Obi-Wan 10 years after the Purge?
right. No, I agree.
There's
If you
a
leave
book,
Leia
though.
and if you leave Leia and Luke out of it,
Well,
I
they
mean-
can't go with the books, Jay.
Yeah,
I know they
with
can't
the
go
books.
with the book, but the book
they
is
could
proof
loosely
that you
base it
can
off the
come
book.
up with something
Yeah.
else.
True.
That's what I'm saying, because as Brian just said, I'm one of the people that for the first half of the show was adamant. This is
Mhm.
just the Mandalorian. It is a guy that doesn't want to go on a quest, taking an unexpected journey with a child against the Empire.
So it was the Hobbit. It was the
Yeah,
Hobbit.
yeah,
meet-
well, yeah, and then
it was the Hobbit
became
meets
its
Super
own
Mario
thing.
Brothers.
And I loved it. When it went into Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader territory, I was all for it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
other than that, I was like,
but
it's the Mandalorian.
on the basis of the movies, where they have, if we're talking about the prequels set this up in a way because his whole mission is to protect Luke, to
Mhm.
protect the offspring of Anakin.
You're right.
And that was his motivation for this, protecting Leia. And it got him in the crosshairs of Darth Vader again. And so I don't see how, from the way the movies are set up, how they could get him to fight Vader without putting Luke or Leia in some kind of danger.
Well, if
I will say, I never saw Leia coming, though. That was a nice
I didn't
surprise.
either.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I thought it was all
Look-
going to be about Luke.
The only way
So
I
did
could
I.
see them doing it would be you'd have, if you took Luke and Leia out of this show, it would have to be, then it would just be a run quest. It'd be a catch me if you can kind of show.
I
Where
was kind of hoping for
Reva,
that,
yeah,
but
where Reva
I was
is constantly closing in on him. Like when we
I wanted
first saw
more
him at
places.
work at the processing of the place, whatever that was called.
It was
When
like
we
a
first saw him
meth
there,
lab.
I honestly thought the next day he showed up to work, the Inquisitors were going to be there.
Yep.
Like I honestly thought that when I first saw that scene, I flashed forward to they're going to find him at work. They're going to come and they're going to be asking questions
And that-
about this guy, and that never
Yeah.
happened. We did run into the the big boss guy again later on, and I did like that.
Yep.
That ran.
They
You got
somehow
something to
track
say?
him.
Boom. It's just-
They somehow track him to Tatooine, and then to protect
Mhm.
Luke, he doesn't want the attention of the Empire on Tatooine, so he has to get off of Tatooine for some reason.
Isn't
Well,
it so
see-
funny that the way they tracked him to Tatooine was the fact that pretty much good deeds were getting done there? Like,
Yeah, but it
that
wasn't
was
him.
just- yeah, it wasn't, but that's essentially how they track. It's like, damn you Jedis and your good deed doing, you're gonna get Obi-Wan killed.
I really just wanted Obi-Wan on different worlds. See, I was really hoping for sort of, like you said, catch me if you can, but also some form of espionage, maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
have
that
them
would've been
going on missions too. But I'm okay with what we got.
If you had taken Leia and Luke out, that's what it would have had to have been. And but again, you know, hey, we might get something else later on. We don't know.
That's
I mean,
I
I
hope
think-
so. That's what I was going to ask. Are you guys open to a season 2? Do you think Disney should do that?
Mm,
I
we
would
still
agree
haven't
that,
seen him fight Maul in live action.
That's what I was
Well,
wondering, because we know Maul's alive.
Right.
They've already concluded that fight in one other show, though.
But did they conclude it before Obi-Wan starts, or could we still see it recreated? He's still alive, though, right?
Yes.
it's the second
Yeah, because
scene that
he
Obi-Wan
fights him as an
ends.
old man.
Maul
Yeah.
technically at this point in time is heading up the Crimson Dawn.
They gave us that, and then they never really went anywhere with it.
They're probably gonna go with it a little bit more. I don't know how they would actually tie it in, because I would love to see the return of Kira as the head of the Crimson Dawn, and then her following Maul's orders. That would be
They
great.
could be
but
doing that.
Dope, yeah.
at this point in
Because
time,
I don't think Disney in recent history does anything by accident. So them throwing in Maul wasn't just a cameo, I don't think. And I'm gonna be having to do some YouTube searches because I just couldn't get into Rebels or Clone Wars. I respect the shows very much, but I know some things that happen with in them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I know Maul's
So-
alive.
they're going to be doing a
Yeah.
big lore change if they actually throw Obi-Wan into fighting Maul at this point in time, because Maul is heading up the Crimson Dawn, A1, and then he's also the leader of Mandalore.
That's right.
So the last time Obi-Wan ever saw and set foot on Mandalore was when what's her name died.
Satine.
Satine died, which is Bo-Katan's sister.
Right. Which is why we have a whole Black Saber storyline going on in Mandalorian season 2. But
Yep.
does that set 5 years after the Return of the Jedi? Obi-Wan can't be there.
Right.
So I know,
I think they could do it. They could at least have him fight him one more time. A season 2 wouldn't. I wouldn't mind a season 2. Like Jay said, give us Obi-Wan. Now give us the video game kind of set show like Mandalorian, where Obi-Wan's got his pep back in his step. He's gonna go across the galaxy and start helping folks again.
I mean,
But-
I think it would be really
I feel
good.
like they have to, not that they have to, but the way they set it up at the end, he doesn't seem like someone who's ready to just wait around anymore. So we know he's going to have to do something in between now and what happens in
maybe.
New Hope.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
they could
Railroad.
even bring back Kira and actually have her seek him out, or
That would be
something
really
like
cool
that.
if Maul starts looking for him too.
yeah, because Maul's always searching for him.
Yeah.
Maul
has
has
a
looking
more-
for him because Vader lost him. Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I
But
still
Maul's
think
not speaking to Vader right now, so
it's so funny too, though. Like, because if you think about it, if they don't do a season 2, then how do you explain Vader not being able to find him on Tatooine? Like, he knows now. Like, he knows enough to go. Well, he was
But
found
he
on
can't
Tatooine
go after him.
originally, so
He's not allowed to go after him though. He is so afraid of disappointing the Emperor.
that's true.
Yep.
He's not.
Yeah,
That
Right,
emotion
Obi-Wan
because
means
heightened.
nothing to me.
Because not only that, he's moved out of a really good hiding spot. He's getting ready to go
Yeah.
build and live in an actual home now.
Right.
But he was in a cave. So yeah, they're gonna have to figure something out.
I mean,
Can't
by
scour a whole
By
planet looking for him.
New Hope, he always lived in caves.
Yep. The hermitage in the cave
Yeah,
out past the lands of the Tuscan Raiders.
Yep.
same-
which I think we're going to probably get some.
That building they're sitting
also-
in with the lightsaber isn't his house. That's Owen's house.
No, that's his house.
I thought that was
Okay,
his
I was
house.
about to say.
I think he builds.
House.
I think he actually builds a house out in the desert, though, like away.
Yeah, because his house
Across
is like
the
out
across
past
the
the
Dune
Dune Sea.
Sea.
yeah. Because
So-
don't they have to? Doesn't Luke have to spend like 30 minutes, like getting there or whatever?
Yeah, in the land.
I never caught
Yeah.
that Owen referred to him as a sorcerer.
Yep.
In the original movie.
That old sorcerer,
Yep, he was like
which is so.
Luke
funny.
refers to him as like crazy old Ben out
Yeah.
past the old Dune Sea.
Didn't Mando refer to Jedi's as the space wizards or something like that?
Or some type of wizard.
Some
Yeah.
type of wizard. So yeah, no, I love that that's getting tossed around. It's kind of like the idea of to bring like some comics, some comic knowledge in, but it's kind of like Batman Year One when people didn't believe that he actually existed,
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's that
He's
kind
a
of
legend.
stuff being brought into
That man's
the
not coming. He's not real.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Why did this pop
He was described as a crazy
An
old
crazy
hermit.
hermit.
escrowed. He was escrowed as an old crazy hermit.
He had a home, so
Damn, he was
home was in
escrowed.
escrow.
It's a lot of Purgill steaks that he's got to sell.
Right. Oh no, I'm in escrow now.
Oh no.
My phone hates me. All of our phones hate us. Autocorrect is a fickle thing.
Technology hates people.
Yeah.
So, what do y'all think about the new? We're getting Cassian pretty soon.
I am so hyped about Andor. I really can't wait for more Rogue One stuff.
They have confirmed the timeline already that Cassian's taking place right before Rogue One and in the middle of Rebels.
I am more
I've watched-
excited for.
Hera. Yes!
I'm more excited for Pat Jennings' Squadrons movie than I am
Patty
for
Jenkins.
that. Or Patty Jenkins.
Rogue
sorry.
Squadron.
Taika
Yeah.
gonna do something? Star Wars?
I don't know. Didn't he ask what?
He was asking Natalie Portman if she'd want to be.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Would you like to
something.
be in a Star Wars movie?
Taika's yeah.
Already have been. Oh yeah, duh.
Be my new
Padme.
Bless his heart.
Only the
He's
mother
not
of
always
Luke
here,
and Leia.
man.
What you talk about, Willis? What you talk about? You've been in a Star Wars movie.
Nerdsquatch
I
does
never
a
saw
great Taika.
I can't do it if I'm trying, though. I
Yeah.
have to be like
Yeah.
not thinking about it.
Siri doesn't speak Tammy.
I speak Tammy. I love it. It's a great language.
Oh, we need to try to get Tammy up here for the Harry Potter event.
Yes. Hey, if she comes up, I'll come up.
You can't. You have a production that weekend.
Oh, it's the weekend before Mid-City Microcon. Dang, I'm screwed for 2 weekends.
We want to take this opportunity to let people know that our Nerdsquatch is going to be in another production down on the coast. If you're in the coast area of Mississippi and want to go see a production of Rent, that will have our social media sorcerer supreme featured in it. You should definitely go and check that out. We'll put a link in the description somewhere, probably of our next episode. We also need to share it on the, or at least in our Talkin Nerdy group. And if you're not in there yet, you should be.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Tammy, you need to come up July 30th for our Harry Potter event. That's going to be a big thing. Dogmud actually announced yesterday or today.
You're giving away a trip.
They're giving away a trip for 2.
Yeah.
to Universal Studios. Meals
Not
for
Emma,
Hayden.
but you know.
I would put myself in for it, but I think it would be cheating if I won, or at least someone would say it was. So I'm not.
involved.
Right.
God, it's like them people trying to shut down resort hopping at Disney World. Y'all, nobody can have fun anymore.
How dare you?
And it's these uber rich people who spend $1,000+ to just go abuse cast members, and they're complaining about what I'm doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I need to get down to Disney World to go to Galaxy's Edge.
Dude, it's the most beautiful sight.
I need to go back.
Cried my eyes out.
If you go, I know I really do want the experience of building my own lightsaber, but whoever
But he
goes
won't,
next, let me know. I'll send the money so y'all can build me a lightsaber.
You
I
want to
mean-
experience that, I promise you.
I've got an addiction now that my wife is probably going to hate me for because of lightsabers. It's already started when I built my first one, and then it's only continuing now that we got Savvies, and then we've also got Doc Ondars because
I wanted
have so
Obi-Wan from Ondars so bad.
see, I wanted Ahsoka's from Ondars.
I got to see him in person. Somebody was out in the line with them. They had left and were waiting with somebody else, and they opened it. It was so pretty.
And now they've released Cal Kestis, and we're
I
getting
know.
him pretty soon.
So this is the prize the Dogmud is
There we go.
Yeah.
giving out. 4 nights, 5-day hotel accommodations, all the works. Breakfast at the Leaky Cauldron, breakfast at the 3 Broomsticks. The total trip value up to $2,500.
Yep.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, when they told me that, I was like, what? I need this, right? I need that. I haven't been to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter
I
yet.
have not.
I mean,
I
it's
hadn't either.
one raffle for 10 and 3 for 25.
Yep.
Charity,
And I
charity, charity.
don't know if that's a separate raffle from what we're doing. I'll have to check. But we're also doing raffle draws that day for we have a autographed print of Matthew Lewis. It's an autographed photo of Matthew Lewis, who plays Neville Longbottom. We also have a wizard chess set, a golden snitch clock, and the Grindelwald and his Thestral Funko Pop, and other prizes, of course, will probably be added by the time the event happens.
I just noticed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is Clint's. He
Oh, okay.
he
Like it's the same
gave
model.
it. He
that I-
gave it to me. He said that it didn't need to collect dust at his house, so we have it here for when we do videos and when we do events. We take it and put it on the prop table. So
Take good care of it.
oh, for sure, it stays in my room. It's not like with the other ones.
That the one that I just showed was my first one I built, and is no longer working.
Uh-oh.
I got to do some wiring.
There's Jay's. I love Jay's.
This is a different one.
Oh yeah, that's not the one you had at Comic-Con, is it?
This one doesn't have sound. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. You're muted, Bri. He was showing his little Ray pop. That's all he has.
This is the one that this is the second one I built that has no sound, but it's custom built by me. So,
Noise.
and then I have my Galaxy's Edge one up there.
My hefty Savis, my beauty.
I need
You could kill somebody with this.
I need a lightsaber and I need a droid. That's what I want to go to.
I love my
Galaxy's Edge
droid.
Oh, you
Oh,
want
I
to meet
also want-
R4J5?
for. R4J5.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that you did not have your droid like walk down the aisle in front of Brittany at the wedding.
She didn't want.
I don't know if I can get it on camera,
Too much.
Hey,
Star Wars
how's it
stuff.
going, Keith?
but I got this
Okay.
last time I went to Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, is that the little
It's the Dianoga.
thing? Yeah, Dianoka.
Yeah.
The Prince
So
of
they
the
did the
Raffle at
Prince
Mississippi
of
Comic
the
Con. So we actually never got a chance to show anybody your work, Tammy. But when I mentioned who you were to the person that won it, they already knew of you. So that was cool. And I told them if they wanted to look at anything else where to find you. So they should be getting in touch soon. What's up, Keith? We're gonna go see Keith August 6th and 7th.
I'm so
Down in
mad.
Baton
that I
Rouge,
don't get
Louisiana.
that.
If you'd like to join, we can send you a link.
What's
it
up,
going,
Greg?
Greg?
Number one fan, Greg, right there.
Hey, Greg.
Greg actually donated a lot of the Funko Pops for Mississippi Comic Con. Oh, the Iron Man print. Yeah, no, the lady, the girl that won that loved it. The Darth Vader print was also a very, very cool gift. The second person won that one. We put one of each into the different prizes, but yeah, they were really, really cool prints. I wanted to snag them out of the raffle, but I knew that would be bad. So, as much as I'm a huge Captain America fan, not like anyone
So
knows that
we
about
wanna
me
do
or
some
anything.
ratings on this show.
So,
Are we giving ratings? Is that what you're saying?
I was
What?
wondering
Huh?
if we want to do some ratings on the show.
yeah, let's do some ratings.
I can
Let's
give
do,
mine. How long are we running for?
Whatever.
Just until we're done. It's an hour and 14 right now.
I may have to hop off here in a bit.
I
but
mean,
I'll
we
definitely-
normally do the reviews at the end, and I think this is a good place to kind of stop if we really want to.
Okay.
Because, yep, people are in my house and they're young children. I can hear them.
People are in my house.
So I
Get
probably need to be hopping off myself. But yeah, yes, this link right here. Go and come see us at Mid City Microcon. Keith,
Go
put the
see
link
them
in there.
because I can't, and I'm
Yep.
upset about it.
It's happening during my birthday, and I can't.
Right. Well, eventually we're just going to build the Fandomite compound, and everyone's going to live together in their own house. Like, what was that show?
Righteous Gemstones.
Righteous Gemstones, and
Yep.
it's going to be great.
Yep.
We're gonna lay it out like an infinity
roller coaster
gauntlet
with the body under it and
with
everything.
a huge pool under it.
Yep.
in the middle for the soul stone.
Roller coaster with the body and everything.
Yep.
The whole 9 yards.
Ratings. I guess we'll let our guest go first. Alex, out of 10 scale, what would you give Obi-Wan overall?
I'd give it about an 8.
8?
Yep.
That's high praise from a fickle Star Wars fan.
I'm not fickle. I embrace all Star Wars and all fandoms.
Same.
I mean, I don't hate the prequels or the sequels or anything. So as long as like I'm getting Star Wars in my lifetime,
I'm with
I
you right
do
there.
not care.
Absolutely.
See, I like Star Wars. I can always point out logical issues but they're not for storytelling purposes. It's more for like the director should have done this, or the writing could have been better here. It's more it's more of a critique of the movie, not the franchise, I guess.
Yeah.
Or the show. And that's
like
how
me
I
with
critique
Marvel.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I can critique the original trilogy just as much as I can critique any other Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Same.
Nerdsquatch.
Yeah.
How many
I'm going to probably go with Alex and say 8.
That's going to be the same for me. 8 beards out of 10. Loved it, though.
See, I'm going to give it a 9. Just
look at Bear. High praise from the Bear Claws.
Like I said, the only 2 things that I could point out that were logical problems, they didn't affect the story. And as I've said many times on my show and other people's shows, when talking about our show, we've said this in past episodes. Tell me a good story. Tell me a good story, and I'm not going to complain that much.
Yep.
And this was a good story. Ewan McGregor returning as Obi-Wan it needed to happen. It was amazing. The new characters that we got that are actually younger versions of old characters were amazing. The new cast members that we didn't even know we needed were crucial. If you take any of them away and the story's not the same. You take Kamel's character out, story's not the same. You take the second, what was it, fifth brother? What was his name?
Yep, fifth brother.
The fifth brother out, story's not the same.
Everyone played their part.
Everyone played their part perfectly. And so, I give it a 9. The only reason I don't give it a 10 is because that damn goat scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that and Luke for me. I cannot explain what I didn't like about Luke, but yeah.
Look, and this is going to be pretty hard for me to say. I have never been a fan of Luke that much.
He's always been a whiny brat.
Thank you, Jay.
I love Luke Skywalker.
Always been a whiny brat to me from the start. It's like Mike Wheeler. I never got behind Mike Wheeler because Mike Wheeler's been a whiny brat the whole time.
I love Mark Hamill, but I do not have to love all of the characters he plays.
I did not like Luke until Empire Strikes Back.
Me too. Fair enough. Absolutely agree.
Until he matured and he stopped crying.
And I really think I only love him in Return of the Jedi. And
you mean the movie where he actually, would have actually cut off his own legs if he'd have hit him with the lightsaber, but we don't talk about that? Yeah. Always loved Hans. Tammy says. Keith says he's a little punk.
Skywalker's a little punk.
I mean, he is. I mean, he doesn't get good until later, and that's just because he's all about shooting warp rats and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been a blast. I think we should go ahead and wrap it up. Like I said, I think we should do another one of these maybe for Thor 4 after I've seen it. Give it about a week or so.
Yeah, I've got to go see it as well.
Let people go to the theaters and see it. We might just do a live stream for that because that's kind of what this show's evolving into. We want to stay topical. We want to talk about collections of things on the show. Maybe not have to do a review every time a new thing comes out because y'all, we have so many ideas for topic-based episodes that we haven't even gotten to yet because all the nerdy content's been coming out. So maybe if we do nerdy content that's new on this format, then we can go, over to the episodes.
Nobody's seen Thor. Oh my gosh, it's just
I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
I've seen Thor. I love
I haven't
Please,
seen it yet.
everybody who hasn't, don't listen to anybody. Go see it. It's
I have-
I will
have
say
free- I have
some
free passes,
there
so.
is criticisms to it, but
Yeah.
it's
There's
a good,
criticisms
fun
for
movie.
everything. If you actually wanted me to, I could criticize my favorite
Endgame.
film in MCU, and that's Winter Soldier.
Oh, I could criticize it too.
Let me watch it one time just to refresh my memory, and I could criticize it if I really
I don't even
needed
have to criticize it. I hate Frank Grillo in that movie, and I hate him in Civil War, and I don't know why they couldn't get somebody better as Crossbones. Are you
Right.
kidding?
But I'm going to do a Crossbones cosplay. That's
I
gonna
know.
be-
I'm
it's
excited.
gonna be
I
so
can't wait
much
to see it.
fun.
Jay, you need to check out Marvel's Wastelanders if you're wanting
Oh,
good
definitely
crossbone
gotta check
action.
out their.
Fun. Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
It's
we
a
definitely need to go check
podcast
out
coming out.
Blurdish's review of Thor 4. Definitely. Greg says it best. Never form an opinion until you've seen it yourself. That's
Agreed.
Exactly.
Thank you, Keith.
And I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it.
Exactly.
Timmy's seen Top
Went to
Gun.
go see Top Gun. Maverick.
Unpopular opinion. I didn't like the original Top Gun, so
I've never
definitely have
seen
an
it.
interest in seeing this one.
I've never seen it, so I have no interest in seeing
Fun, but some concerns or things turn your brain off.
Yeah, well, see, I was talking, and real quick, I was talking to my mom about this earlier while we're talking about criticisms, but it's getting to the point with Marvel where I am starting to worry about some of their output.
Yeah.
Like the visual effects departments protesting them and not wanting to work with them is not a good thing.
No,
And it is not going to lend itself well to their products.
not at all.
And I know I posted about a costume, but I think everything has gone down in quality after Endgame,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
Well,
wow.
and my whole thing, we've talked about this outside of recording, but I'll say it here. My whole thing is, let's go back to where we got a different Marvel project like every 2 years.
Yep,
Like, give me
Not pump
two
one out every year.
projects, or two projects a
their
year.
sequels.
You
Too much.
know, right? Because we had, before Disney Plus, we had only like 2 movies come out a year, but they
I
were
was gonna
spaced out
say
by
it.
so much.
I think Disney Plus ruined it.
But Disney Plus gives us all this new content, and they're still putting out movies. So it's like we're putting out the movies and we're putting out the shows, and you have to watch both to keep up with the timeline. And it's like, wait, don't oversaturate us, Marvel. We love you. We love what you're doing. We love what you've done. Slow down. You don't have to put it all out there right now.
I mean, it's like an opinion that I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about this. It's just like, how many bad guys are we going to get?
yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, we are literally, I think, on 5 that are world ending right now.
Just in phase 4.
Yeah.
And I think we're getting the 6th this year.
And
We
like,
get
The
Kang
world ending
next year,
6.
so 7. We'll have 7 by next year.
yeah, I mean, it's just too much. There's got too many like there's not one focus like there was in Endgame. Thanos. There's tons of them, and now we're probably going to get a whole different splash of people with I just finished Miss Marvel.
Oh, it was
The other day.
fantastic.
Haven't finished that
And-
yet. Need to finish that too.
The finale is
See,
amazing.
I'm having to kind of wait, and like since they're putting it out so fast, I'm having to kind of wait and go, okay, let me decompress. Let me get through. Like, I'm still on how awesome Multiverse of Madness was, but then they also want me. Disney wants me to watch Miss.
Y'all
Marvel,
see the
wants me to
difference
get
is
super
I think
excited
y'all
for
are
Thor
getting
4.
Marvel. Y'all are getting Marvel fatigue, and I'm not. I haven't gotten Marvel fatigue yet.
I promise you, I'm not fatigued by it. I can
I'm
assure
getting
you
there.
that I'm worried about the quality of the stuff that's
And
out.
that's the other thing too. Like I am getting fatigued. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like Jay said, that fatigue is making me also worry about what we're getting. Like, how many more continuity errors are we going to get in the next movie? Because you're putting this out so fast that you're some of your writers aren't having time to catch up on the project that links to this.
Well, you know, Kevin, I don't know if Kevin's still watching, but Kevin was telling us at Comic-Con he was just now catching up on WandaVision and everything. Well, what are all these people who haven't finished a Miss Marvel gonna do when the next time she shows up is a movie?
Right.
Yep. Because that's what's happening.
What are people gonna do when Captain Marvel shows up and who's this kid? Because they didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Look, I had to fact check myself on Monica Rambeau. I was like, wait a second, I've heard that name before. I had to go figure it out.
Right.
Yep.
So I was like, what? So yeah, that would. I agree that they're just they're not really saturating. I'm not like really getting like burnt out on Marvel movies because I never do.
Oh
really.
no, I never would.
I
either.
just wish they slow down, pump the brakes just a little bit.
Go back to what you started with. It worked.
And
I can agree with that for the movies, but the shows,
They satiate us. I agree. They keep us
I love the
satisfied.
shows.
oh yeah,
The shows
me
are good.
too.
The shows
But
are better than the movies.
I think they need
Yeah.
a little bit more shows.
I
but
agree. Maybe focus on TV, not so much on film.
They
Mhm.
also need to fully think out the shows
right.
beforehand.
And that's the thing is that's part of the oversaturation that they're kind of building toward, because if you're putting out such great shows, which you are, I haven't watched a bad show yet. You have to give people time to watch that. That takes at least 6 weeks to come out.
Yep.
And then if you want them to go right after that and go watch Thor 4, because didn't Miss Marvel just wrap? Like,
Yep.
didn't that
Yes.
just wrap last week?
No,
I-
this week.
This week.
This
Yeah.
week.
So the last episode of Miss Marvel comes out the week after Thor 4 releases in theaters. Whether it connects or not, you don't want to, you're oversaturating the market. This brings us back to our topic at hand, Obi-Wan. They're not doing that with Star Wars. You know why? Because they don't even have a new movie slotted for release yet. They're still working on different films and TV projects. Everything we've gotten from Star Wars since the Rise of Skywalker has been a TV show.
And most everything announced at Celebration this year was
Yeah.
television.
So,
Well, I think that's the format that they want to go with because it's
Yeah.
easier to work with.
Yeah.
You can do a lot more for the fans and slow the timeline down because that timeline is compacted as it is.
Yeah.
And trying
Keith
not to
does the
screw up
Thor
continuity.
news
is-
show.
Thor needed a show for a character, to be honest. I since I haven't seen it, I guess I don't know what character you're talking about.
Yeah, same.
We'll talk about that later. But
Could use the TV shows as build up for future movies. I agree, Greg. Yeah,
I could agree that they could do several, however many shows they want a year, as long as they put heart into every single one of them. Don't just
exactly.
put
I
out
certainly
shows, put
think
heart
they're
into them.
using the shows to build up to things.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're
And then
doing it
one
in
movie
the
a
wrong
year.
way. It shouldn't
one movie a year.
necessarily be new introductions in television. It should be things like Secret Invasion, WandaVision, which was House of M, and adapt storylines on TV. Introduce me to new people in the movies.
I gotta say, I love how a Star Wars live turned into us talking about the MCU because we're nerds.
Well, but
and
it's also all Disney. So
it's all Disney.
Yeah.
We're all under the mouse here.
Katie said, and this is why I said I think it would be cool if we just started doing live streams for new projects and our episodes be more focused on like collections of things. Like if we were going to do a Thor episode, for example, and I haven't talked about this with any of my assembled, co-hosts or anything, but just as an example, if we were going to do, this is how I see it happening. We do a live stream to talk just about Thor 4. And then if we're going to do a Thor episode, it can be later about all 4 of the movies combined.
and
or
his
something like
Avenger
that.
stuff.
Not saying we're going to do that. We might do an episode all on Thor 4. I'm not sure yet. But let us know in the comments what y'all think. Let us know how y'all would rather see it. Do y'all want to see us? Because like Katie, it's hard for me to keep up with all the shows and movies coming out. The Boys just wrapped. I haven't watched a single episode of that new season.
I'm still on season 3. I mean, episode
I
3.
just started it.
So, with that being said, let us know in the comments. What do y'all think? Should we do y'all want more live streams from us where we talk about the new stuff that just wrapped? And then our episodes can be more focused on like deep dives into other fandoms and stuff like that? Or do you want us to just keep going like we're going? Or Or do you have some other ideas of how we should operate? Because we are putting this show out to not only entertain ourselves, but to entertain you all. So just let us know.
All right.
Anything else? Anyone got anything else?
I'm good.
Good.
Was it? To me, I think they're building to the Young Avengers. Craig says.
I think that's what the TV shows might be doing.
Yeah.
And I think
Who
the
wants
first
to-
inkling we'll
Bullet
get of
Train.
that is Ant-Man. And then
I don't know if this is unpopular or not, but I want the Dark Avengers to come up since we actually have almost
Yes.
every one of
Yes.
the characters now.
Yes.
Val, absolutely. Julia Dreyfus is forming something. One of
Yeah.
the two.
I need Zemo to be Citizen V. Please watch The Boys and listen to our episode on it. Legendary, Keith says. Katie says, I love The Boys. I have to finish season 3. Yeah. See, I haven't even
I
started
still need
season 3. So, all right, y'all. Well, I guess that's going to wrap it up. Before
right.
we get out of here, just a quick reminder. We got the Patreon up. If y'all want to support, we only take everything out of there every month to support the show. And then everything that's left is going to start getting donated to Children's Hospital. The spring store is also up. If you would like some Bearded Bear merch, go and check that out. New items getting added at least every 2 months when I have time to sit down and create them on the spring store. The July 30th is the Harry Potter event at Dog Mud. Come and check us out there. I'll be doing the trivia that day. We got our friends from So Geeking Cool are going to come up and do cosplay. It's going to be amazing. After that, we have the Mid-City Microcon in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, August 6th and 7th. Come down and see us there too. Me and Tyler will be doing our No Toxicity in My Fandom panel there. Also, our friends Gamma Ray Cosplay and Liger Zero Cosplay are going to be the cosplay judges there. So we might get some interviews with them while we're there as well. That's going to be really fun. And then in September, watch out, Nebraska. The Bearded Bear team's coming to hang out with you in York toward the end of the month there. I don't remember the exact name of that, but of course more details will follow as that gets closer.
It's the Sports and Comic Expo, Midwest Sports and Comic Expo.
Yeah. But yeah, and like I said, more details to follow as that gets closer.
We'll be doing
right
some
now,
panels and stuff and interviews with some of the artists. So it'll be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a blasty blast. We got to take Jay up there for his birthday. That's the whole reason we're
Show
going.
him the Midwest. Try Runza. Congratulations.
And until then, I guess be on the lookout next week for our new episode, our literacy episode, all about literacy and independent creators, where we interviewed 3 different comic book creators. Well, a team of comic book creators and then 2 individuals. We got those interviews that are in that episode. We got an interview with one of our Ridgeland librarians here in Ridgeland, Mississippi, and Kaz, who was in here earlier.
Yes.
Independent artist that does comic book art. So definitely check that out next week. And also be on the lookout for Tyler the Great's new show. Should also be dropping next week. Bard Tavern Talk. It'll be
How'd
dropping
that
on
theme
our.
song go?
It did not go great, and we need to talk about that after the live, as a matter of fact. So I will let y'all know. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get out of here. And I guess I'm gonna take these guys with me. I've been the Bear.
I've been the Beard.
Want to remind you, as always, to stay awesome.
Stay bearded.
And
And
much
much
love,
love.
everybody. We'll see y'all next time. We are out of here.
Boom, cut the check.
All right.
Another episode done. We hope you enjoyed it. New episodes are released every other Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Check back then or subscribe so that your device downloads it automatically. Audio episodes are now available pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts, so it's really easy to share them with all your nerdy friends. For YouTube viewers, subscribe and click the little bell so you're notified about all our new content. And Apple users, please don't forget to rate and review on the app. That helps more nerds find us. Links to talk nerdy to us can be found in the episode description as always. You can chat with the Bear, the Beard, or the rest of the Bearded Bear team, head researcher and graphic designer, Mama Bear, the Master of Marketing, Han Bralo,